In the bustling metropolis of Chronos, life moved at the speed of thought. Every building was connected by intricate networks of gears, pipes, and automated systems. Clocks were everywhere, ticking loudly, reminding everyone of the preciousness of time. But despite all the advanced machinery, something was always breaking. A gear would jam, a pipe would burst, a whole district would go dark. Life in Chronos was a constant dance with mechanical chaos. Our story begins with Kai, a brilliant young engineer. Kai was obsessed with efficiency. He had the newest tools, the fastest diagnostic systems, and a head full of theories. When a machine broke, Kai was usually the first to arrive, armed with a dozen wrenches and a laser cutter. He attacked problems with speed and raw intelligence. He fixed many things, but nothing ever stayed fixed for long. His solutions were always temporary. One day, the grand clock of Chronos stopped. The heart of the city, which dictated everything from train schedules to the flow of clean water, fell silent. Panic erupted. Without the grand clock, Chronos was lost. Kai worked for days, breaking himself on the intricate mechanisms. He replaced gears, rewired circuits, adjusted springs. He tried everything. The clock remained silent, a giant, useless monument of metal. The city leaders, desperate, called upon every engineer in Chronos. Each tried their complex methods but failed. They used more force, more tools, more clever theories. The grand clock remained stubbornly dead. The city began to descend into chaos. Water stopped flowing. Lights flickered. The ever-present ticking was replaced by an eerie, heavy silence. In his desperation, Kai overheard a whisper, a legend about an old master, a man named Hiroki, who lived far away, beyond the industrial zones, in the quiet, forgotten ruins of the old world. They said Hiroki could hear machines. They said he could fix anything with a single touch. Most people dismissed it as a fairy tale. He uses ancient magic, some scoffed. He's just an old fool, others jeered. Kai, however, had nothing left to lose. He gathered his courage, left his shining tools behind, and set out on a long, arduous journey. He traveled through the forgotten tunnels beneath the city, avoiding the monstrous, broken machines that littered the ancient pathways. He walked for days, fueled by a single, desperate hope. He found Master Hiroki in a small, moss-covered temple, hidden deep within a forest that had reclaimed the ruins. Hiroki was old. His hands were gnarled, his back was bent, and his eyes were almost blind. He was calmly polishing a single, rusted gear. He looked nothing like the powerful genius Kai expected. "I have come to ask for your help, Master," Kai pleaded, breathless. "The grand clock is broken. The city is dying." Hiroki nodded slowly. "Tell me about the clock," he rasped, his voice like rustling leaves. Kai launched into a detailed explanation, describing every symptom, every failed attempt, every complex theory. Hiroki listened, his eyes closed. When Kai finished, Hiroki asked only one question: "What does the clock feel?" Kai stared blankly. "Feel? It's a machine. It doesn't feel. It functions or it doesn't." Hiroki smiled. "Every creation has a heart, even cold metal. You have heard its symptoms. You have not listened to its heartbeat." They journeyed back to Chronos. The city was in near darkness. Hiroki walked slowly, his eyes closed, his hand occasionally touching the cold metal walls of the broken grand clock. Kai watched impatiently. He saw no tools, no diagnostics, no grand theories. Just a frail old man listening to metal. After what felt like an eternity, Hiroki opened his eyes. He asked for a simple, old, wooden-handled hammer. Kai fetched one. Hiroki then walked to a specific, unassuming section of the clock's massive casing, a place Kai had dismissed 100 times as a mere structural support. He raised the hammer. Clang! A single, precise tap. The sound echoed through the silent city. And then a soft whir. A tiny gear began to turn. Another followed. And another. Soon, the entire grand clock whirred to life, its gears meshing perfectly, its giant pendulum beginning its majestic swing. The light returned to Chronos. The water started flowing. The city erupted in cheers. Kai was stunned. He rushed to Hiroki. "Master, you saved us. How much do we owe you for that tap? For the miracle?" Hiroki looked at him, his ancient eyes twinkling. "For the tap, my boy," he said. "1 coin. For knowing where to tap, 10,000. Kai understood. It wasn't the force of the hammer. It wasn't the complexity of the tools. It was the accumulated wisdom, the intuition, the years of silent observation that allowed Hiroki to see the invisible fault, to hear the silent plea of the machine. He had listened to its heart. Kai asked to become Hiroki's apprentice. Hiroki agreed. For years, Kai didn't touch a single complex machine. Hiroki made him do seemingly simple tasks. Polish old gears until they shone like mirrors, listen to the hum of the city's pipes in the quiet of the night, learn the subtle creak of 1,000 different types of metal. Kai was frustrated. "When will I learn the tap, master?" he would ask. Hiroki would reply, "You are learning the listening. The tap is just the echo of what you hear." Kai learned patience. He learned to see patterns where others saw chaos. He learned that every scratch, every creak, every hum told a story. Eventually, Kai became a master himself. He didn't just fix machines, he understood them. He became known as the whisperer to machines. His solutions were always simple, elegant, and permanent. He no longer rushed. He listened. And when he made his one strike, it was always the right one. Your life is the grand clock of Chronos. It is intricate, complex, and sometimes it breaks down. You might be like young Kai, attacking your problems with force, with a dozen new tools, with all the latest self-help books. You replace gears, you rewire circuits, you run yourself ragged. But the core problem remains. The one strike is not a magic solution. It is the culmination of years of invisible work. It is the wisdom gained from listening to your own heart, to the subtle whispers of your body, your relationships, your spirit. It is the intuition that tells you exactly where to apply your energy. Don't chase the quick fix. Don't seek the magic tap. Invest in the listening. Invest in the years of quiet observation. Hone your intuition. Understand the true heart of the problem. Because when you finally raise your hammer, the price for that one strike will be priceless.